What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome back to another video guide. In today's video is going to be on the Divine Ramuh LUFENIA fight. So before we start, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel guys, and I would really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's start this video. Okay guys, so we'll start this off as always on how to deal with the LUFENIA orb. Now the orb actually starts when the boss's HP goes less than 80%, and you can increase the counter when you delay the target. Now there are a couple of characters obviously that can do this. Actually there's quite more on the list that I have here, but for the purpose of this video I would just add Keys. He has his EX weapon, his EX ability that can delay, so that really helps. You have Cloud with his LD, Emperor with his traps. Aranea, a name you probably haven't heard in a while, is also very helpful here. She can delay even though she's only at level 70. Dark Knight Cecil can do this as well as Ramza. So as you can see guys, there's quite a lot of characters to choose from, and you know, there's more characters that I didn't really list on this particular list. But anyway, I think let's move on how the fight works. Now Ramuh has a recast ability. This actually hits like a truck. I would just really try to avoid this. I actually tried taking this on and two of my characters died. So it's not an ideal. Mind you, I didn't put any shields or anything like that, but I didn't get broken on that particular attack. So this does hit quite a bit. So I would just try and avoid getting hit by his recast ability by delaying him. He also summons crystals, which reduces the brave damage taken, and he is immune to quite a few debuffs, but the most noteworthy ones to mention are paralysis and HP silence, which are used sometimes to cheese certain stages. So in this particular case it's not going to happen. And so how do you deal with this fight? Honestly, just delay. Delay is going to be your friend. Like I said, there are quite a lot of characters that are available, so delaying isn't like a bad option at all. In fact, I feel like a lot of the videos that you might see on the internet or maybe posts by certain players is going to have to do with delay in some shape, way, or form, and I'm guessing most of them must have delayed in order not to get hit by that recast ability. And honestly, if you can delay in this fight, that's basically cheesing the fight itself. Which brings us to some of the other characters that you might consider bringing. Like I said, Emperor is actually pretty good in this fight since he is featured. His traps can delay. Theodore still okay. Penelo okay. Pestle still pretty good. When I say pretty good, he's still really good. Furion, Onion Knight, Warrior of Light for those shields. I haven't actually tried if you can absorb a lot of the HP damage with Warrior of Light, especially with his LD. So just take that with a grain of salt. Aranea, like I said before, Ramza, Keys, Cloud, Gladio still pretty good. But I think for Gladio in this fight, if you do bring him, he's gonna be gimped. That's all I'm gonna say, because he relies so much on counter that and the idea here is to delay, that he won't be able to, you won't be able to use him to his full potential, but he's still pretty good, right? Just in case Ramuh takes a few turns, he can still counter those. So Squall is going to be a beast, Dark Knight Cecil, and there's still a lot more. The only thing that you will have to keep an eye on is bringing Thunder base and Earth base characters, since Ramuh can absorb those elements. Again, there are certain ways to circumvent those, but ideally you should not bring those characters. Now as for cult characters, you have your Jack, Onion Knight, Ramza, Hope, Caius, Dark Knight Cecil, and Cloud. Honestly, this is going to depend on your main team. If you're gonna rely on your main team being offensive and not delaying too much, then you might want to bring characters that can delay, like Cloud. So you know, that's just one of those things. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you bring a lot of delay and offensive team, which I'm sure a lot of you will, then your cold characters can be like a debuffer, or like Caius or something along those lines. So again, if you want to feel a little bit safer, you have Cloud and Ramza that can delay with their LD ability. And I might be missing someone else as well on this list that can do that, but it's just going to depend on your main team. And speaking of the main team, my main teams include Dark Knight Cecil, Cloud, and Keys, with a cold team for Jack, Onion Knight, and Ramza, support Ramza, and summon for Diabolus. Basically, you can switch things around here. Ramza can be inserted in the team. It shouldn't be an issue. And if you guys have been watching the video a little bit closely while I talk, you'll notice that my Cloud actually doesn't have his passive for his EX ability, which really I was like scratching my head. Why did the game decide to remove that buff or that passive in favor of some artifact passives? I was very surprised. I didn't notice, you know, I just autoed it, and for whatever reason the game decided, hey, you don't get the EX that makes you hit your EX twice. So yeah, it's just a fun little fact there that my Cloud isn't to his full potential, but I still made it work. So, you know, I didn't really have any issues. Okay guys, moving on to team number 2, I've got Emperor, Plant and Cecil, and Aranea. As for the Cole, you got Gabranth and Cloud. Support Ramza, and the summon is going to be Shiva. You know, Emperor and Aranea is going to be doing the delays here. Aranea has actually quite a good amount of delays in terms of ability usage. So, you know, she's pretty reliable on that department. As for the damage, I mean, she's still pretty good, especially if you bring along Plant and Cecil, which increases the damage you can do. So yeah, I think this is a pretty decent team and well worth trying. Moving on to the third team that I have for you guys is going to be Emperor, Plant and Cecil, and Celeste. The call team for this one is going to be Squall, Cloud, and Penelo. Support Ramza again. The reason why I like support Ramza in this particular fight is because just in case you do need that delay for whatever reason, Ramza can do that for you. Summon Shiva, and this is basically like a kind of like an OP team. You got Plan, Cecil, Celeste for those defenses, and of course Emperor can delay. So you're gonna be relying a lot on Emperor's delay here. Mind you, again, it's kind of like almost infinite with his delay, especially if you keep using his HP attack plus to keep triggering those traps, as long as that trap is on him. That's the only thing. So you know, again, Ramza is here for your support anyway, so just in case you need to you know, delay the enemy further, then you know, you have that option. He's like a little safety net for you just in case. Anyway guys, we are finally at the end of this video. Now normally I do have a 4th team for you, but I kind of feel like I'm stretching the video a little bit with the 4th team sometimes, and you know, sometimes there's certain fights where I just keep repeating the same characters and just like switching things around, and you know, I just feel like it's such a waste of time. But obviously there are quite a lot more when it comes to party compositions. If you are struggling to find you know, a party composition for you, because you don't, either one, you don't have the characters that I've mentioned, or number two, you just don't have the gems to pull on certain characters that, you know, that you probably can get, but you don't want to risk it. So I do suggest going to like the Dissidia Opera Omnia global, or the JP version, whichever Facebook group they have. Like, you know, they always post all the different kinds of party compositions on the day, so they'll have like a mega thread for it, and you know, people or all the other players will post their stuff there. Sometimes when I need inspiration, I go there, and you know, sometimes I see like YouTube videos that I wouldn't even dream of trying those things, and sometimes, you know, you see it on this channel, and I feature their you know, their team, and then I'll leave a link down in the comments, not in the comments, sorry, in the description below, so you can check those out. And you know, those kinds of things do happen. So you know, sometimes I just feel like I need some sort of inspiration, like a different team composition that what I normally would think I wouldn't normally think of. So yeah, there's quite a few options for you, and obviously if you join like other people's discords and stuff like that, you can always ask them as well. But hopefully you guys keep coming back on this channel to find your inspiration. Anyway, overall, I think the fight itself was pretty easy. This LUFENIA fight wasn't a struggle for me, again, because of delay. You know, like I said, I only had just one time where I ate that recast ability, and that was because I was like, I wonder how strong this is. I think I can take this. I should be able to take at least one of these recast abilities, right? Turns out I could not, so I decided to just play with the, you know, the delay team. So overall, the fight itself shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyway, I think I'll end the video right here. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel, and I would really appreciate it if you do. And you can share this video as well, and keep coming back to having your inspiration in my videos. Follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. Leave down in comments below what your team was for this particular fight. And that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.